Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel Coin Series. Request from viewer is, what do you think will happen next? You can also comment your opinion. Thank you to all the subscribers of our Coin Series who came to our channel Coin Series. You will always be info with the latest Coin Series news. Option 1, will there be a settlement of XRP and XRP? Option 2, where XRP will win. Option 3, where SEC will win. Please like my video and subscribe my channel. It involves a former employee of Ripple who is now employed by BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, with around $10 trillion in assets under their care. After leaving Ripple, this individual is currently employed by BlackRock. Plus, he's the boss of digital assets at that company. Believe it or not, this is the same individual that persuaded BlackRock CEO Larry Fink to launch a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, ETF. It gets even more intriguing when you consider that this individual was co-authoring a model that anticipated a price for XRP of $32.91 while he was employed at Ripple. In terms of widespread acceptance, it has been a resounding success. That is, incidentally, quite remarkable. You have to remember that XRP was the main consideration for him. And if you read it all, he still managed to arrive at the Highland high end of a very successful $32.91, even if he was primarily considering XRP as a bridge currency and a store of value. Of course, XRP's usefulness goes beyond that. You may be familiar with the XRP price model that I'm referring to if you've been an active member of the XRP community for any length of time, but I must admit that I was surprised to hear this narrative. And when I heard that name, I was like, what, the Ripple employee? It seemed absolutely insane that we have a Bitcoin ETF with BlackRock. But before we get any further, let me be clear, I am not providing financial advice and have no financial support of any type. Also, you shouldn't base any purchases or sales on what I say, right? I'm just a curious bystander that loves to vlog about cryptocurrency on YouTube. Just for fun, though, and as a pastime. Could you please tell me which model I was referring to? Well, as I mentioned before, this is probably not news to anyone who has been around for a fundamental valuation paradigm for crypto assets, written by Robert Mitnick and Susan Affey, has been the subject of much community discussion for about 6 years now. The individual who left Ripple to join BlackRock is known as Robert Mitnick. The entire cryptocurrency market benefited from his efforts, and he managed to persuade Larry Fink that he should vigorously pursue a Bitcoin ETF. You have to ask, could XRP be next? Because it seems like Robert Mitnick was really pro-XRP when we were talking at least a year ago. I seriously doubt he would have worked for Ripple, had his name on this model, or been involved in any way if he despised XRP. This movie is not meant to be a walkthrough of the model. I've already stressed that point extensively. Robert, who is midship, will be highlighted for AS Econd. And it is indeed him. I will not go into his lengthy gushing about the author portion. But there he is, in person. In the year 2018. Page 20 shows that his model came out at $32.91, this is assuming it is extremely successful. There you have it, the most optimistic estimate. And that's assuming the lowest possible amount, which is $6.37. In the recent half-decade, there has been massive acceptance of cryptocurrency. In fact, XRP's price motion has been muted compared to what it would have been without the SEC's intervention. Even back in 2017, when my crypto experience was minimal, I was all about utilities, the idea that something has to do with its intended purpose or else it doesn't, which is why XRP captivated me from the start. It's fascinating to see how the importance of utility has been acknowledged. That is why I have held XRP for more than 6 years. My investment thesis, which states that utility is paramount, remains unchanged. To my mind, that is still relevant to this situation. According to this account, you managed to convince Larry Fink to approve the spot Bitcoin ETF application, which was subsequently approved by the SEC. It's quite surprising that this is actually happening, and I find myself wondering why. Is it possible that XRP may undergo a comparable marketing campaign in the future? The stakes are high, and the extra P won't be worth it in the long run. Even if it won't happen soon, I can't help but wonder why on earth it wouldn't happen eventually. Plus, I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Not even this year. I'm afraid any application will be rejected outright. Well, I stumbled into this post yesterday afternoon from Scott Melker. Gary Gensler is in charge, but that's for later. The infamous Street Wolf has shared this 936 times. A handful of people who follow you on social networking X. Here I will share with you the exact transcript of a 58SE condominium video that I transcribed. And this is what the Street Wolf had to say. When it comes to Bitcoin, Larry Fink has essentially become the undisputed leader. His motives are viewed by many as negative. Anthony Scaramucci was the one I questioned about whether Fink has been genuinely orange-pilled. In addition, he proved his epicness by sharing a personal experience with Larry Fink. Accordingly, this is the person to whom this is making reference. For the benefit of those watching on TV, I am Anthony Scaramucci, founder and managing partner of Skybridge Capital, a firm that oversees approximately $2 billion in assets. Lastly, I have located the most recent figure. Regardless, word got out. So, here is Anthony Scaramucci's statement. There is a quote here. When we met in November 2021, Larry Fink was there. You seem to enjoy this Bitcoin, he says. I had stated that. He then gave me the Bitcoin sucks look. Let's take a moment to acknowledge that hearing him declare that Bitcoin is terrible made me giggle. The slick CEO of BlackRock. With $10 trillion under control, Bitcoin remains unmoved. In any case, we will go on with the transcribing. Well, Larry, alright, I said, this is not what I see. My only suggestion is that you put in more time at school. Robbie Mitnick is now an employee at BlackRock. A Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, ETF, was his idea when he was a young man who arrived to BlackRock. To Larry, who deserves a lot of credit, he orange-pilled. Reason being, Larry turned in his assignments. In his pursuit of knowledge about what it is, and why it will be a store of wealth on a global scale, Larry reversed his previous position. Speaking proudly of Bitcoin's shortcomings requires a very astute leader. After 24 months, admit that you were mistaken. You can't have this last quote without BlackRock. I understand that this is something of a rehash of the story. Yet why should I? Just why am I taking this in? So, what makes you believe that's credence? Here are a couple items for you to look at. Larry Fink is the one I want to address first. And the truth is, it all depends on if he's sincere. Larry Fink always maintained his innocence. You know, all he really stated was that Bitcoin's ecology improved and that it was no longer mainly utilized for evil. Sure, his co-workers are aware that he was orange-pilled on the inside. He is aware. However, he succeeded. He was too proud to publicly confess he was mistaken, you know. Well, things have changed, he replied, opting not to publicly admit his mistake on Bitcoin. This development has taken place. And that was his exact wording. That is what the general population sees. Indeed, it is the argument he has advanced. On the inside, you know that isn't correct. Because Anthony Scaramucci has the intestinal fortitude to admit defeat, I fear he is causing Larry Fink a bit of grief. Indeed, I did. Or perhaps he merely believed that it would be an unflattering appearance and was overly certain of his opinion. And then, in that brief time frame of only 24 months, he reconsidered. Indeed, that is the case, even though technically speaking, he made the public-facing remark regarding the malicious purpose. I doubt it was in the year 2021. Prior to filming this video, I did not research it. However, wouldn't you agree that that happened, in 2019 or something? I would need to check it again. It seems like it happened a lot longer than that. Nevertheless, however, to get back on track, the reason Anthony Scaramucci knows is because he was there when it happened, which is why I think you should listen to him with a healthy dose of trust. As for the case and its progression, this is what happened. Reason being, he was an associate of Robert Michnik's. Indeed, Robert Mitchum was an associate of Anthony Scaramucci's. So, Michnik managed to get Scaramucci to put $10 million into the venture with BlackRock. That, in a way, proved that this financial product had demand from outside sources. The fact that Larry Fink came to the realization that there is, in fact, demand in the real world is due, in part, to that. So that he could say something more nuanced than Bitcoin is bad, he probably looked into the Bitcoin ecosystem and crypto in general. With any luck, Robert Michnik, given his expertise in XRP, I'm crossing my fingers that he can convince him to move forward with the spot XRP ETF application. However, I must admit that I am not optimistic about BlackRock's chances of getting approved or even applying for it in the near future. Someone may apply quite soon, and I won't be surprised. In my opinion, though, that is not going to take place tomorrow. In any case, I enjoyed reading the narrative. This is just like Ripple, but different. If anything major happens to the cryptocurrency market and its infrastructure, it will almost certainly have an impact on Ripple and XRP. On nearly every occasion. I am astounded. It is an essential component of the modern cryptocurrency. And that is the essence of it. So, it's interesting to observe that Robert Michnik believes XRP has the potential to become extremely valuable in the future. Please like my video and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.